actually, first up, we're going to have a speech. Is that correct? From Mr. Palipakam? And then we're going to show some videos from Mr. Bertrand's performance at the Turkey, actually an interview he had at the Turkish Olympia. And just some other videos from our students that have actually performed in today's performance that prepared some things in the past years and just wanted to share with us. This is just some filler material while our judges are going to go and start judging. So Mr. Pilapakam, are you still having issues, sir?
No, I'm back on. I think you can see my video.
Then give me 1 second so I can spotlight you for everybody. I'll share my screen right now. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Merhaba. I am Srini Pillai-Pakam. I'm Ananya's dad. Ms. Ekran was kind enough to ask me to address you guys. First of all, congratulations to all the students. You all performed fantastically. I mean, you're all learning a completely different language. The way you delivered, I've pretty much sat through the whole presentation. Excellent, amazing job. Everybody, you should be proud of yourself. Thank you, judges, for being there for us. And thank you, Ms. Ekran, for inviting me. One of the things, we come from a very multicultural background. As you know, in India, most people learn multiple languages right from childhood. So at least I grew up learning 3 languages to begin with. And then my daughter, I'm trying to do the same thing with her. So when she had an opportunity to learn Turkish, we grabbed it and we said, this is an opportunity to learn a completely different language. And believe it or not, last year we transited through Istanbul. So we were able to read the signboards and we enjoyed my extremely little and probably her little knowledge of Turkish. And we were able to identify words when the announcer was saying things in the aircraft and in the airport. We were pleasantly surprised and we had a very pleasant experience in Istanbul. We transited for 7 hours, you can imagine. We had fun. So for the students, you might all ask the question, most students ask the same question. Why are we learning a language that's not ours, that we may never use? 2 things. Learning languages puts your mind in a mode where you can learn any new language going forward. If you learn 3 before you're 15 years of age, when you grow older, it's easier for you to pick up the language where you're at. For example, right now we have an opportunity to learn Arabic. My wife works in Saudi Arabia, so we go visit very often the Middle East. So I'm trying to learn Arabic. Any language that you learn is always an asset. Imagine if somebody were to come to you and speak in your language. It's always fantastic. Now, my special shout out to Daniel and the people in El Paso, because El Paso is my second hometown. I don't know if you know, I graduated from UTEP. I did my master's in mechanical engineering 25 years ago. In those days, there was no internet, there was no language aids. We had to go to the library. So, after about a month of suffering in Juarez with my friends, that they had to kind of safeguard me, I went to the library and I learned Spanish. So now I'm in construction. I'm a structural engineer. In my construction job, I use Spanish every day. I speak to the framers in Spanish, all the work people, fellow engineers. I speak in Spanish. I do technical Spanish translations and stuff. So it's always good to have a language skill. So to the students, that's what I would tell you. One clue of getting very proficient in a language is, it's a little hard, but try to think in that language. Thinking in one's language and then translating it and speaking is slow. So if you want to speak a language very fluently, start thinking in the language. It's kind of hard. So I will leave you guys with one joke. I had a roommate in El Paso when I was in school. This guy used to go to school with us. He's also a mechanical engineer. And in the nighttime, he used to work in Juarez in a factory as a supervisor. So Uh, so let me finish this and I'll join. Well, one of the things that he did was he'll come back late and sleep. One day I wake him up, and believe it or not, he spoke for 5 minutes in Spanish because he's thinking, dreaming in Spanish. He is from India. He's from a neighboring state. We speak about the same language. So you can imagine my surprise. And that's one of the things he told me. If you want to be fluent, think in that language. Then you'll be very fluent because there's no translation gap. And I saw some of the students today in their speech, in their presentation, they were excellent. I think they're already getting there. And hopefully next year my daughter will be there too. She was kind of nervous. She's in 6th grade and going up against 8th and 9th graders. She was a little nervous, but I think they all performed excellent. And thank you so much for inviting me. I hope I gave some inspiration to the students. And
No, absolutely, sir. It's thank you so much for taking your time, first of all, and for sharing that really cool experience with us. That's really interesting. I had no clue that your family came from El Paso, so it feels good. Not just seeing somebody who speaks my language, as you said, but somebody who knows where I come from.
Right.
Absolutely.
It was 25 years ago, so El Paso has changed a lot, but still it's
A lot.
So thank you so much. And I would probably go ahead and mute myself. And I
I
think
got you, sir.